Welcome GEOS 120 students. This is a brief how-to guide, which is also available as a PDF file or the PowerPoint slides in Canvas. This how-to guide is going to show you how to successfully navigate the GEOS 120 course. Okay, so just for some general information, all the course materials will be available on Canvas. Please check Canvas for announcements. At least once, preferably several times a week. We will be making all announcements for reminders for quizzes and exams or any lab-related announcements in Canvas. Your lab worksheets are going to be completed via Google Forms worksheets, and the links to those are also in Canvas. We'll provide the links and reminders to the labs before each new week starts, so you'll have plenty of time to get up to speed with what you'll be expected to do for the lab that week. Lectures will consist of synchronous Zoom and Google Chat meetings with your instructor during regular lecture hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Alaska time. Labs will be completed each week, and for GEOS 120 they are required. So please join your online labs section each week to work on your labs together with your TA to get help, as well as your fellow students. And the quizzes and exams for each section will also be delivered by Canvas. Okay, so here's a really important note about TA and instructor hours in this online course. Online courses offer tremendous flexibility. So for example, if you want to work to complete your labs each week outside of the scheduled lab times, as long as you turn them in on time by each Friday, that's fine if you need to finish up your work. But your course instructors and TAs were not online and we're not available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. We have other things to do in lives outside of work that we need to do outside of the course hours. So while we monitor email regularly each day for student questions, we're not always online. We can't always just immediately meet to answer your questions, especially during the evenings and weekend hours. So if you need help outside of the regularly scheduled lecture and lab days and times, please do the following. If you have an issue with your lab or some questions with the lab, please email your TA. If you have a question about the lecture materials or the quiz or exam, email your instructor. You can get help from your instructor or TA during any scheduled office hours that they have posted by Zoom or Google Chat, or by appointment. So you can request an appointment outside of the office hours too. Just send an email to your TA or instructor to set something up at a day and time that works for both. So here's some general pointers about how to do well in an online class. If you pretend that it is an in-person course by setting aside regular schedule each week when you'll complete the course materials, that'll help a lot. Attend all scheduled synchronous online lecture and lab sessions. Don't miss these because this is where you're going to get all of the information you need. You're going to get help with your labs. You're going to get help with quizzes. You're going to get study material. So it's really important to join all of the synchronous online lecture and lab sessions. Complete your labs during the scheduled online lab meeting time each week with your TA's help. Just pretend like it's a normal in-person lab that you're expected to attend, and you'll do much better on the labs. It'll be much less confusing. You'll have the help you need. You'll be able to complete your labs much more quickly than if you try to do it all by yourself on your own outside of the lab hours. Stay on top of the course calendar and schedule and any weekly course announcements and all email communications with your instructor and TA. Don't skip or miss the quizzes or exams. We're going to give you ample information about when they will be held and how you take them. Please don't skip or miss them. If you're having trouble, communicate with your instructor or your TA via email promptly. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And if you need to make an appointment to meet virtually, you can do that via email as well. And if you have questions, always ask. So GEOS 120 is delivered in 3 sections: volcanoes, earthquakes, and glaciers. You'll have a different instructor for each section. Course delivery, format, and grading, however, will be the same for all 3 sections to keep it consistent. There is no cumulative exam at the end of the course. Once you've finished the labs and lecture material for each section, you are done. Each section will follow the same format. Twice weekly lectures on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Alaska time with your instructor via Zoom and Google Chat. 3 required quizzes. They will be timed and they will be delivered on Canvas. A required exam in each section, which will also be timed and also available on Canvas. There will be 3 total exams in the course. 4 required labs in each section, 12 required labs total. Complete the labs again during the scheduled online session with your TA each week. And if you don't know what lab section you're assigned to, check the course section you registered for in UA Online. Or if you can't find it there, you can email your instructor and they can tell you. Okay, here's how to check announcements. You log into Canvas and you go to the left sidebar and you click on Announcements. And you'll see all of the announcements for the course. All required course materials and links are in the Canvas Home menu. So you go to the upper left menu bar and click Home. You'll see a bunch of different modules. And the labs and lectures for each section will be in there, and they will be arranged according to week. So for example, the first Volcanoes week is week 6 of the course, and it's February 15th and 17th. The Volcanoes lecture materials are in this module. For the lab that week, the first Volcanoes lab materials are in the module right underneath it. So they're arranged according to week, the dates, and the section, and the lab number. So how to join the Zoom lecture meetings. Zoom meetings, you go to the left menu sidebar and click on it, and you'll be taken to the Zoom upcoming meetings calendar schedule. And you go to the right and you'll see the join button and you just click join. How to join the Google chat. So go to your email account and log in. You go up to the right sidebar menu and click on the array of gray dots. You can see them right here that I've circled them. Click there. You have to use your UA email to access the Google chat. Otherwise, it thinks you're not supposed to be here and it won't let you join. So please log in with your UA email to access the Google chat for this course. When you click on the chat icon, it's going to pop up with something like this. And you're going to see some courses, course rooms that you're enrolled in on the left. Click on the GEOS120 course chat room. And this is an old example here from spring 2021, so this will be updated. So you're going to want the spring 2022, and you click on that. After you've done that, you'll see something that looks like this. There's a course chat room, there's a bunch of student members, and there's going to be a chat interface where you can type questions. Your instructor can embed photos and video. So this is what you're looking for here. So how to complete the online labs. So the GEOS120 labs will be completely online. The lab assignments will be completed by filling out a Google form worksheet. It's going to look something like this. Here's an example here from the Glaciers lab number 4. We're going to make available PDF copies of these worksheets as well, and you can use these as scratch sheets if you want, but you have to complete your lab in the Google form worksheet by filling in the blank spaces provided. On Friday each week, we'll send you an announcement email reminder with the link to fill out the lab form for the following week. The link to the lab form will also be posted in Canvas. Your TA will be online during your regularly scheduled lab day and time to provide instruction and help you complete the labs and answer questions. So you really need to attend those sessions. They're required. So in Canvas, all of your lab links to the worksheets and all of the extra materials you may need for that lab are given to you. So in the home page, scroll down until you find the lab. So the example here is week 6, Volcanoes Lab 1. Inside that module, you're going to find the link to the Google worksheet. You're going to find a printable copy as a PDF, and you're going to find all these different materials that you might need to complete your lab. So they should all be contained within Canvas. Anything extra you may want to print out and use for the lab assignment will be included in there. So they're all kind of self-contained in the lab module. Okay, so here's how to learn from the lecture material. You're required to read the lecture notes and view the lecture slides or watch the lecture videos before the scheduled lecture day, because the lecture sessions are going to be more like question and answer and discussion. They're not going to be you're not going to have to sit through an hour-long Zoom lecture. They're going to be more like study class period. All the lecture slides and notes are going to be available to view or download from Canvas. The video versions of the lectures will also be available via links in Canvas. Each Tuesday, and this is really important, I want you guys to pay attention to this. Each Tuesday, starting at 11:30 a.m. Alaska time, your instructor is going to host a 30-minute long Zoom check-in session. And the purpose of that session is to introduce the course materials, quizzes, and lab assignments for the week. Also just to check in with y'all so you can actually interact with your instructor via Zoom in real time. And then from 12 to 1 p.m., the session's going to move over to the Google Chat to discuss the lecture materials for that day in a question and answer conversation discussion format. Each Thursday from 11:30 to 1 p.m., your instructor is going to host a Google Chat session only to go over the lecture materials for that day in the Q&A format. If you have any questions about how this is going to work, it might take you a couple sessions to get the hang of it. Just don't hesitate to ask your instructor. If you show up on Zoom and nobody is there, just automatically join the Google Chat session. Or if you show up in the Google Chat and nobody's there, click on the Zoom link and see if anybody's in the Zoom session. So if you kind of forget this schema, you can easily get caught up, no problem. The Tuesday and Thursday lecture sessions are required because this is a synchronous class, but we're not going to take attendance. You can always contact your instructor by email or make an appointment to get additional help with the materials outside of scheduled lecture hours, but you do have to check in and make an appointment. We're not always available online. So all the lecture notes and slides will be in Canvas along with the recorded lecture videos and links to YouTube. In the home page, scroll down until you find the lecture you need. Under the lecture heading, you'll find links to the videos, PowerPoint and PDF slide formats, lecture notes, and additional video links and other materials. So we'll be giving you your quizzes and exams using the UAF Canvas website. The quizzes and exams will be timed and will be deployed within a set time window, so please be prepared to take your quiz or exam during that set time window. And we're going to give you more information about this relevant to the first quiz that will be coming up in the first part of this section. Once the quiz or exam time window ends, you will not be allowed to take the test. You'll have to contact your instructor before the quiz or exam time window starts to make alternate arrangements if you're not able to take it on time. So please contact us ahead of time. If the quiz or exam window ends and you haven't taken your quiz or exam, you're going to have to contact your instructor and explain why you missed the quiz or exam and see if they'll let you take a makeup, but that's up to the individual instructor. Canvas will automatically send your answers to your instructor when you submit your completed test or when the timer times out. Each student is allowed one attempt only. You will not be able to backtrack or change your answers. Check Canvas for an announcement when the quiz or exam is available. Your instructor will send announcements and reminders via the lecture sessions and email as well. You can find the quizzes and exams in the left sidebar menu of Canvas. It's just labeled quizzes. Both the quizzes and exams will be in that quizzes section. When you click on the test link, Canvas is going to give you the instructions. You're going to need to read them carefully before you click the Take the Quiz button. Once you start taking the quiz or exam, you have to complete it within the time you're allowed. You can't restart or do it over again. If the timer times out, it will automatically submit your quiz or your exam. Okay, please review this how-to guide first thing. Keep this information on hand and review it as needed throughout the semester because a lot of your questions are going to be answered in here. So if you have a general question, you email your instructor and you don't hear back right away, come back to the how-to guide, read through it. Your answer will probably be in here. Join the orientation chat on Tuesday, January 11th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. It'll actually be a Zoom session for help getting started. If you do, you'll receive extra credit points equal to 1 quiz. Be sure to check Canvas at least 2 times per week for announcements and quiz and lab reminders and any other important information. Attend the twice weekly lecture sections. They'll be mostly in Google Chat, but the first 30 minutes each Tuesday will be on Zoom. Attend your lab session to get help from your TA with your labs. And if you have any questions, please ask. And thank you so much for joining us this semester, and we hope you have as much fun as we do in taking this course.